Hey, what's up everybody, my name is Legend. I'm here with another episode of Minecraft, and today we're going to be doing just a tutorial on Diamond Fire, which if you haven't heard of it, you're just coming and watch this video. Pretty awesome server. Basically you can go along and create your own plots, which normally, you create a plot, you can just build in it. But with this, it's actually cool because you have coding, okay? You can code a game, develop it, and whatnot, and make it into a game with, like, super awesome custom stuff, whatever you want. So it's way different from other servers, and it's super cool. Now, I'm going to get started here with showing you some tips and stuff, and then we're just going to get into how to do things when a player joins your game. So first off, some recommendations I have if you're new to the server. You may not know these. So if I go into /build here, and I put in basically this white perimeter, if you're doing a 50 by 50 plot, which is the basic one that you get if you are new to the server, you can place anything on the white wall, like here, or inside of this area. It's just the perimeter you start with. You can even remove it and put whatever you want in. It's just the basic perimeter you start with. But let's say I put a block right here, right? Okay, so we're gonna go into dev. You can build anywhere not on the white barrier. You can't place things on the white barrier, but you can place them in this area right here. Now you're seeing you cannot place a code block in front of or behind another. Now normally you can place things here, but since I have blocks right here, it's not gonna let you do that, which is why I don't recommend using this slot, because if you use this and later on you want to edit this area, but you have later placed something along this line, it won't really let you, and it gets kind of annoying. You have to go through and destroy stuff and then replace it. So I always use this space. See, I'll show you just an example. If I go into /build, which is how you switch things, you do /build or /dev or /play if you want to get into your game, and I remove this block, you'll see it'll actually let you place this here, but later on if I place something here and I wanted to edit it, it wouldn't work. So I'll always place it at least one down. So yeah. Now, and the next thing is, before we start actually coding, plot code space. So you can do this and it will make a whole layer. See how this person has a whole nother layer of coding area? You can code on this just like you can code on the ground area. Thing is, look, it's a whole layer. You kind of have to go around it, go up to go through it. Now, if you want, you can do that, or you can do /plot code space, and this is a really good thing, -L, boom, it creates little rows. See how you can now go through these rows, and it makes it way easier to code. It's something that I really recommend you doing, trust me, if you have a lot of lines, because you can make multitude of these and keep stacking them up into the sky level. Makes it really easy, because imagine these are full layers. You have to actually go all the way over to here, go up or down, and then go through over here, edit like one thing, and then you gotta go all the way around. That's why I recommend doing this. Now we're gonna get into some actual coding, now that I've gone over some basic tips and stuff for new starters. So, a player event is basically how you start almost all of your little things here. So you can place things 2 blocks apart from each other. So like, place 1, 2 blocks, third block, boom, you place another. You can place as many of these as you want. But let's say I create a player event and I say player event, player join event, or join game event. It does give you a little description, which can help you a lot if you are trying to figure things out on your own. So you click on that, player join. Now, whenever a player joins your game at all, no matter what, it will run this line of code. Okay? Now, one thing, if I place another player event and I want to do player join, it's not going to let me, because I already have one. So now you might be wondering, well, Elijah, what if I fill up this whole line of code? Can I not code anymore? That's not true. You can code more, which I will show you right now. So let's say, you just fill up this with a ton of code. This isn't actually doing anything right now. I'm just using this as a filler. And let's pretend like we got all the way to the end and we can't do anything else. There's a solution to this. See these things, these 2 blocks that I have? The function block and the call function block. Now, we're going to create a function, which is a whole other thing. This is another way that you start out your code. So we have a function here, and the way we name this is we just grab inside of this iron ingot, named variables, you right click that and you can get all these different things, and we're going to select, for now, you don't have to understand what these do right now. For now, we just need the text, okay? We take this text and we name it whatever, so we can name it 2 for whatever reason. It literally can be whatever. You just right click the sign right here and you see this little 2 appears. This is your function name. So when you come down here, you can call a function and select 2, and see how by default it's just a little lead. You can actually change that, but once you have called this function, so it will run all this, and then it will run this function, and so that means it will start running from here. See how that kind of makes a little sense? You can also use this in between your code, so like, but we're not going to get into this. This is just how you would continue your code if you wanted to. You can also put in a block for that. So like, let's say we wanted it to, instead of to be that lead, wanted to be a lime wool. So we'll put that in there. And if you come down here, you can see, if I right click this with my hand, it's not a lead anymore, it's wool. This can, you might not seem useful right now, but it makes it way easier to see things when you have a whole thing. Like on one of my games, I have like all of this filled with functions, so it's way easier to find stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do that. We're gonna destroy this for now. We're actually gonna destroy all this, so what you can do is destroy that. So next, we're gonna actually go over how to do some things like send a player a message when they join, stuff like that. So when a player joins your game, which is the join event, we can do a player action. With player action, you have a ton of different tabs right here that have different things. You can either do item management, communication, which are the two main ones that you'll be using at the beginning. We'll just start with communication. So this is, we're going to click on communication, and then we can have all these different messages, like send messages. Some of these you do need a rank for, but you don't really need them if you're learning how to do this, and later on you can decide if you want to get a rank or not. Which I do recommend if you can, because it's pretty nice and convenient. But you can also play sound effects. But for now, let's send them a message, okay? So I select communication, send a message, and you can see right here, I can't really show you, I'm trying to show you with my hand, what am I doing? You can see right here it says send message, okay? Now, if I go back in here to communication, and I look right before I click send a message, it tells you, I'm trying to put it with my hand again, but if you look down, it says in the chest. That's what you need to put inside of the chest, because you see, there's a chest right here you can open, you can put stuff inside of it. It's telling you what to put in the chest. So it says to put a text in, which is that thing that we used to name that function earlier, and it will basically, that's the text that it's going to send. So you see this, the thing we got earlier, we're going to grab that again, we're going to say something like, welcome to my game. Very basic. I will show you how to do more with this in just a second, but for now, welcome to my game. So all this is going to do is whenever a player joins, it will send this message. You can see right here it said welcome to my game. It'll send it only to this player, no one else, okay? That's one thing that you need to understand right now. It will only send it to that player. Let's say you wanted it to say this to every single player that is in their game right now. So if we had person A and person B, and we wanted person A to see this message even when person B joined, we would just have to select all players, and then now the way I did that was I held down sneak and then I right clicked on here, and now it's gonna, you can select any of these actually, but the only thing you really need to know is all players. Select all players and it will send this message to everyone. And you can do this with a lot of different things, like if you wanted to give someone an item, you could set it to all players, but we're not gonna focus on that right now. Just for messages. Now if someone joins, it's gonna tell welcome to my game to everyone, but why would you want it to say welcome to my game to another person? They're not gonna know who joined. So now we're gonna say something more specific. So welcome, and then let's say you want it to say that player's name. So the way you do this is doing %player. Okay. Now this, it only says welcome. 1 second. Welcome %player right now, but when a player joins, I will show you that thing that says %player will be replaced with welcome and then their username, which my username, as you can see, is Elijah Copper, so it said welcome Elijah Copper. Now, if I was in this game and someone else joined my game, it would say, welcome person, alright, whatever their name is. So that's just kind of how you use that. You can use that for any message, no matter what. You can use it if you're sending a message to anyone or anything, whatever. If you want to see more of these, selectors, basically you can go into this book. It's a reference book. You find it right here in the top right of your inventory. Drag it into your hotbar. Right-click on it. Shout out to Katie Sasha. She's pretty cool on the server if you ever need help. But she made this book for us. It's pretty convenient because you can look at these selectors. Page 6 is really where it starts, but it gives you a little description on page 5. So obviously we used %player, which is actually not in here for some reason. Or actually %default is the same as %player, sort of. But for in this case, you could also use %default. Also %damager, killer, and these things are all shown descriptions of if you want to learn more about these on your own. This is kind of just a way of getting started. So %player. Now, it's really basic. As you can see, if we scroll back to wherever it is, right here it says welcome Elijah Copper. You can't really tell Like if someone was just playing your game, they might not even notice that appeared, and they wouldn't know that anyone joined. So the way you can make this stand out a little more is by renaming this book. So we're going to say with color codes. You can use color codes. Once again, that reference book, thank you, K. Sasha, it shows you the color codes. If you don't know color codes already, it's actually on a lot of different servers, but color codes 2 to 4, you can see all these different color codes. So let's say we wanted to make this a bright blue kind of color. So as you can see here at the bottom of this textbook, and B, it's Aquatex. So you can see how it looks in the game, so it's kind of a light bluish color. Let's also take note of orange, which looks kind of like a gold color in the game, so and 6. So we're going to use and B, we're going to say welcome, and then we're going to say you can use a multitude of colors in this. So and 6, which if you remember was a gold color, and then we're going to do %player, so %player, and we're going to do and B again, so welcome, their name in gold, and then you can send a message to this game, or whatever your game name is, period, and then boom. Now you can see right here it's going to say welcome player to this game. So now I go in there. Now everyone will see this message and it's going to say welcome Elijah Copper to this game, and their name's highlighted. It's really cool. Now it's going to go back into developer. Yay! That's how you get a message going at the beginning. So yeah. Now let's say you wanted them to PvP when they first join the game, and normally you want to set up a lobby and stuff, but just for the purpose of this video, item management is how you do this. So you can give them an item with this system right here. So give them an item, and then for this one, we're not going to use the all players because we don't want it to go to all players. We're actually just going to leave it as it is, so it only gives the player who joined this item. So let's say we want them to give them a sword, just a basic wooden sword, and maybe a bow and some arrows. We'll just use the not arrow for now. So some arrows. Now we'll do /play, and as you can see, we got a bow and arrows and sword, and we can just shoot around, and if anyone else was in the game, we could actually fight them. So yeah, that's kind of how you do that. And now that's pretty much all I'm going to teach you in this video, just for the sake of not spending hours, which I could spend just explaining different player actions and whatnot, because I could do a lot of cool things with these things. You can also set armor, which is another useful one, which I'm not going to tell you anymore. You just need to look through this stuff. It's really, really easy to find out because it will tell you what happens in the description, and it will tell you what to put in the chest to really do these things. If you have any questions at all, you can just comment down in the description or find me on the server. There's different nodes. Most of the time I'll either be in node 1, 2, or 3, which are actually all 3 of the nodes. So if I'm on the server, you can ask me. Also, you could do /support request and oops, not request, request, and that'll put you in the support. I'm going to actually cancel that real quick because I don't need help. But that'll put you in a support queue, and basically anyone who is a support on the server, which maybe I will be someday, but I don't really have that kind of time right now, will come and help you. If I'm on the server, I'll help you too. I'm perfectly fine. I like helping people. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say to you. If you guys want any like specific tutorials, like how to make a flamethrower that actually shoots fireballs and stuff, just comment something like that down in the description, or challenge yourself and try to figure it out yourself. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Episode 2, we're going to be learning about, oh wait, one thing, I forgot. I'm going to give you guys a challenge in the next episode. I'm going to show you how to complete that challenge. Now, my challenge to you is by using this same, remove that, by using the same system we learned today with the messages. I want you to do, when a player leaves the game, quits, which is what you're going to want to find, send them a message, and send the message to everyone who's in the game. And I want you to say, player, the specific name, I want you to say that they left the game. Try to do that on your own, and if you can, you'll learn something, and you can do this for all kinds of different things. Whenever a player dies, send them a message, and blah, 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 etc. That's the challenge that I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be learning more in the next episode. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.